Kevin, do you guys feel like you were more aggressive in free agency this year maybe than previous years?
Signing 3 veteran players is a little unusual for us, but we had the cap flexibility to do that type of stuff this year. So when it made sense, we just added players, but we didn't go in with any goal of signing 1, 2, 3. We just always kind of let it unfold, and that's how it ended up being this year.
Mark Barron is somebody who was cut by the Rams. Do you feel like he almost fell into your lap, similar to the Joe Hayden situation?
Fortunately, yeah, because you go into the offseason, you're not projecting that a player like Mark Barron would be available, and when he was, we had the fortune of having enough cap room to be able to make it work and to add a significant player like Mark Barron. So we were fortunate, but it wasn't something we knew was going to happen as the offseason unfolded.
Kevin, what's the team's philosophy in terms of using free agency and the draft to complement each other to help fill out your roster?
The draft has always been and will always be the foundation of how we try to build a team. And when we can and want to add a free agent, we will do it. It's worked for us. The majority of the time we've added some significant players that have helped us win Super Bowls. Sometimes it doesn't work out, and you're always more comfortable with your own players because you've been with them for 2, 3, 4 years, and you try to keep those players in the mix. But if you have to add someone from the outside, you want to be open to that as well.
You guys have all said that getting a new deal done with Ben Roethlisberger is a priority this offseason. Where do things stand?
We're still in negotiations. It's a significant deal for both sides. It's most likely Ben's last contract as a National Football League player, so I think that's, concerning to him. And of course, we have to make sure that, we're able to compensate him fairly for what he's done and what he can still do for us, and we have to make sure it all fits within our cap constraints.
Marquise Pouncey told Teresa Varley that the new deal kind of came out of the blue. He was happy but a little shocked. Why did that make sense for the team?
Marquise Pouncey, we think, is the best center in the game. And again, we're fortunate to have him in his prime. And he's also one of our, under the cover kind of leaders because as respected as he is, not only on the field but off the field. So keeping a Marquise Pouncey for hopefully the rest of his career was really a pretty easy move for us.
Where is the team salary cap as it stands today?
We still have some flexibility. It changes from day to day and deal to deal. And we know we can still make some deals, not as much as we were able to do prior to signing the other 3 vets. But as we move forward, it'll go up, it'll go down. We made a trade on draft day last year, so it can change daily. And as you mentioned earlier about the Mark Barron, these types of things will happen, and we just want to have the flexibility to be able to really do both.
I know pro days are still ongoing and you're probably heading to one. How are they affected by what you see at the combine in terms of what you have to do at those pro days?
The pro days are more intense and one-on-one type of situations because we usually try to get the player in a social setting the night before his pro day just to learn more about the person. And then we get to do more intense kind of close-up evaluations on the field. Plus you also get to see him interact with his teammates and try to see his spot within his own unit, his own team. And that type of thing is very important. Sometimes we get to meet parents at the pro days. So it's just another exposure. And every time we're with a player, be it at the Senior Bowl, the Combine, or his pro day, or one of the 30 visits that we do at the end, you still learn something new.
After pro days comes the pre-draft visit. So looking forward, how do you guys go about deciding what players you bring to Pittsburgh to go through those?
Again, we spoke to 60 players at the Combine. We probably interviewed close to 100 players at the Senior Bowl. So we have a lot of information, but we may need more information on those guys. Plus we maybe try to bring in guys that we didn't have in our 60. So it's a combination of all that. Included is guys that maybe weren't at the Combine that we have to get a physical on. So over the next month, we'll be doing those 30 visits to try to get as much information as we can.